Welcome back. Big, bold promises coming from the DA's new mayor, Geordin Hill-Lewis, who has officially been sworn in as Cape Town's youngest mayor. He has left Parliament to take on the new role. The City of Cape Town held its first council meeting for newly elected councillors today. Our reporter Lindsay Dentlinger was following that meeting and joins us now live from Cape Town. So Lindsay, let's talk about the promises from Cape Town's youngest mayor. What's he saying?
I think the biggest promise he's making, Shahan, to Cape Town residents is that next year they will receive, get this, another 600 million rand worth of free basic services. We know that this is a mantra the DA campaigned on quite fiercely in the run-up to these elections, that it maintained that even though water and particularly electricity comes at an exorbitant price here in the city, that it was still providing more basic services, it claims, to poorer communities, and that poorer communities live better in Cape Town than they do in any other metro. At least that's the assertion the DA campaigned on. And today that was probably one of the biggest promises made by Geordin Hill-Lewis in his inaugural address to the new council, and also Shahan planning to end load shedding, promising to extend the city's transport network, wanting to take over the passenger rail services in the city, both of which we know have not been fully operational for a long time. There have been problems with the My City on certain routes that go out to the further reaches of the city. Several of the PRASA rail network doesn't work here in the city at all. So those are among some of the promises he's making. But overall, he says day one, he's getting stuck in tomorrow, heading to areas of the city where sewage just runs down the street, due mostly, reportedly, because of aging infrastructure. And that is what Geordin Hill-Lewis will be doing on day one in office tomorrow, Shahan, putting on his gumboots and going to those areas to see for himself why sewage is running over and running down the streets. But this is part of his address that he gave the new council earlier today, Shahan.
On this very first day of our new administration, I want every Cape Townian to know what they should expect from us in the years ahead. The government that has been elected by the people of Cape Town, that is gathered here today, we publicly affirm that we will serve this city with a clear, higher purpose. And that purpose can be summed up in one sentence: to restore hope in South Africa by turning Cape Town into living proof that we can roll back poverty, that we can overcome the long shadows of our past, and that our country can still realize the society dreamed of in the founding document of our democracy, the Constitution.
And Lindsay, quickly, some criticism from the opposition benches that the City of Cape Town is not as squeaky clean as it would have wanted people to believe. What will the new mayor be doing about that?
So the opposition leader for the ANC has been there a number of years, Xolani Sotashe, pointing to a corruption watch report today in his response to the mayor's address, saying that there was still a lot the city had to answer for in terms of jobs for PALs, in terms of its procurement processes, and other items that he highlighted in saying that the city had still work to do to ensure clean governance. But Geordin Hill-Lewis saying that that was a non-negotiable for his city. We know that, again, that this is something the DA prides itself in: clean books, clean governance, and the mayoral committee, which we expect to be announced on Monday. It is subject to DA FedEx approval over the weekend, will all be undergoing a lifestyle audit. And so those are some of the things Geordin Hill-Lewis has promised, that the DA is not going to slide as it extends its lead in the city now, going on over 15 years now, that clean governance will be a non-negotiable. Here's Geordin Hill-Lewis again, Shahan.
Here in Cape Town, we also take pride in running a clean and ethical administration. I want to be clear that good governance is and will remain a non-negotiable in Cape Town, precisely because we are committed to serving the poorest and most vulnerable members of our society. It is the poor who benefit most from honest and clean administration, and it is the vulnerable who suffer the worst consequences of corruption. When ambulances are broken, when no one answers the phone, when fire engines don't work, when taps run dry, and when money meant for infrastructure is stolen, it is the poor who pay the price. So good governance is a profoundly moral commitment, and that is why it will be a non-negotiable under this administration. It is also out of this commitment that I can announce today that every member appointed to my mayoral committee next week will undergo a lifestyle audit on assuming office.
We'll leave that right there. Lindsay Dentlinger is in Cape Town.